Welcome back to 1876 Sports and Culture Podcast, a show focused on highlighting the illustrious Prairie View A&M University, the HBCU of Texas, by promoting SWAC and the HBCU experience, featuring your fellow PV Panthers, Roland Austin, J Cleezy, Big Mike Washington, three-time SWAC champ Gati Werema, former drum major HBCU band historian Shaunetta Heiskell, and Al Williams, driving the show from the Hill. Please subscribe and follow us on social media at 1876 SCP. And don't forget, we do it for the culture.
And welcome to the 1876 Sports and Culture Podcast. We are post-homecoming.
And dragging.
This is a struggle show today. This shows our commitment.
My lips are dry.
This is what they say. We do it for the culture. This is all for the culture.
Got to be, man.
I is hurting.
Oh man, but
Bro,
that just means it was a great
my
time.
back was hurting, my feet were hurting. I'm like, hold on, man. What in the world?
I think I damaged my little sciatic.
Not the upper one, the lower one.
Wow.
Oh my
You all
God.
set your homecoming out?
I don't
Yeah.
know.
See, I learned it's valuable. Go ahead, Roland.
No, I'm saying it was something. I don't know whether the homecoming was set out by many, and your individual variation or version of setting out is just really indicative of your experience. If you walked from here to high yonder, from Kaplan to Alpha World.
Yeah, I agree. When I was leaving, there were so many people on campus yesterday that I'm really interested to hear the numbers and the stats of how many people were actually on campus. But when I was driving off campus, like towards Buc-ee's on the back road, there was a whole other thousands of people in RVs back there having a whole other different experience. So,
oh man, it went down in Prairie View. I mean, bro,
It was another tent party. They had another tent party Saturday night for the kids.
Off campus?
Off campus. You have four stages.
I'm leaving late, and they're still coming.
Oh yeah,
290 was packed at 1 a.m. trying to get on to university.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But we knew that. We knew U of H and Texas Southern, they was going to shut down early, and where we want to go, where we can really have a good time.
I have to say this. I have a Sora who's in my current alumni chapter. She attended UT, and so her cousin graduated from PV. So they actually went to U of H's homecoming like in the morning, yesterday morning, and she was like, "Okay." So then they went to Texas Southern, right? Now she graduated from UT, so when she got to Texas Southern, she was like, "Oh man, this is nice. This is off the chain." Then they came down to PV. Her mind just blown. She was like, "Oh,
she said, if there's levels to this was a real thing."
She said, and I love it because she's unbiased. She said, TSU has nothing on this. Has absolutely nothing on this.
We know that.
Yeah.
Listen, we give unfiltered, unbiased information around here. I've been to them. I've been here. Hey, if it was Crunk, I would tell you. If it was Texas, if it was Tennessee, not Tennessee, Tennessee State, FAMU or Tuskegee. Hey, I tell you, Spell House is still a good environment, but it's just, you just kind of just walking around campus. And even then, they're done because they're going to go clubbing in Atlanta afterwards. So, listen, I'm going to give you the unbiased report on who's homecoming this fly, and that's PV.
The bias, unbiased.
Yeah. No, it was a good time. I would say a good time was had by all.
Yes, indeed.
Mm-hmm.
TikTok.
My valuable takeaway is don't go so hard in the paint on Thursday.
And I will definitely take that away next year.
Yeah. That's hard. It's hard though. Easier said than done.
Thursday is hard because you're getting there. The anticipation has been built. You were anticipating Thursday on Saturday of the following week. Getting your stuff together, getting your outfits together, hitting up with your LBs, hitting up with your LSs. Hey man, can't wait to see. That anticipation is high. So Thursday is like that. Boom.
Yeah.
Then you wake up Friday morning like, what just happened?
Got 2 more days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. But no, good stuff.
All right. Well, we got to talk about this game because y'all gonna see a lot of content from our live show or the show that we recorded before the game. But we need to talk about this game because our predictions were a little bit off. So let's take a quick break and come back with some football.
2nd and 5. First to the hole up the middle. It breaks free. The 20. The 10. Touchdown, Prairie View. And it is Tristan Wallace.
All right. So, man, that was not the game I expected. I thought, before I could even get to my seat, it was Bethune-Cookman 7-0. Like, wait a minute. I thought I didn't even hear the national anthem and they already had 7. What in the world?
By the time I made it to the suite, it was already like 21 to whatever. I was like, what the heck happened? What is going on here?
It was definitely the battle of no defense. It was like, okay, score. Oh, I can do that too. Score. Okay, I can do that too. Score. But then we had a little rough patch. We were no longer matching score for score. I think that's when everybody started feeling like, oh God, really?
I sent y'all a text and I was like, go ahead, y'all go ahead and cancel. You go ahead and cancel the broken. I was defeated already.
But you know something? I'm gonna tell you, I know a lot of the I don't want to call them naysayers, but the traditional mass exodus after halftime, right? Yeah. But you still had that faithful few that I really think came through in the clutch. Yes. The faithful few got in the game with the players. Mm-hmm. They started boosting them up, giving them that extra little kick that they needed to get themselves in gear. And you actually started the defense started to perform a lot differently than they did in the first half when we were just sitting down at the pageantry of the football game.
This is nice. Formula.
This is good. We saw it in action.
Yeah, it's the band, it's the fans. Everyone has to get engaged.
Yeah,
that's the formula. I think that we're not in the shout out section, but I have to. I'll save it. I'll save it. But
did y'all really feel the energy of the game turn once that certain area started getting caught?
Yes. Second half was like the tale of 2 games.
Yep.
No, I'll tell you
go ahead.
When I felt it turn was when that hit that was right around a 2-yard line, where the running back almost ran over the guy and the helmet came off.
Yeah.
The whole complexion of the game changed after that play.
I felt it was more the interception. I thought it was the interception when I felt comfortable. I'll say that. Yeah. But that was a nice hit. Bless his heart.
Oh, you said comfortable. I didn't still feel comfortable until around about 2 minutes left in the game.
Yeah.
It's when I felt comfortable.
Yeah.
When we were up by 10 with a minute to go, that's when I was like, okay, I'm good.
Exactly.
Man, I'm looking at these stats, and these numbers are insane. Bethune-Cookman had 550 total yards, and PV had 561 total yards. Crazy.
That's just no defense.
No.
PV had 30 first downs.
What's the average amount of yards per game to kind of get an idea?
300 probably.
Good game is 300.
Dude, Trezon had over 100. He had just as much as
just rushing. And then he had another 100 or something passing.
Which was beautiful. I'm
in two games. In 2 games, Trezon Conley has scored 10 touchdowns in the last 2 games.
Oh,
Yeah.
Crazy.
you better get player of the week, like player of the week.
Again. He got it last week. Yeah, he got it last week. Shout out to him for that.
Hey, full disclosure, I saw very little of the game, so I don't have that much to talk about on the football game.
I saw most of it. And did Bethune-Cookman bring the referees?
Oh,
it sure seemed like it, because that one call that I don't know what it was, where they called off the touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't understand how they still got a first down, and the ball was placed on like the 10. So if it was after the play, doesn't the touchdown count? I didn't even hear what the call was, but it was just a little bizarre. And then that one pass interference that bailed Bethune out, that ended up leading to a scoring drive, because it was going to be fourth down, like on the 50.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I was a little confused there too, Shaunetta. I didn't like this referee corps.
Yeah.
Well, I think the key takeaway that I took from the game was outside of Southern, right? For some reason, I don't know whether it's the getting back into the game mentally or the anticipation. I mean, the added help from the crowd, the combining with that with the band. But for some reason, we continue to find a way to win. Even when it doesn't look good, we still continue to find a way to win. And so kudos to Coach Bubba for continuing to find a way to win, because we were about to have a very dreary homecoming.
Let's be honest. Probably all of PV Nation at halftime was like, man, this thing over.
Yes. It didn't look good. I'll just say that. It did not look insurmountable, but it was not
35 to
that we were
24
expecting
at halftime.
Yeah. And then to come out in the third quarter, and we didn't make any defensive adjustments in the third quarter. We didn't adjust the defense until the fourth quarter, where we started sitting on a linebacker.
Yep.
I was like, what is this 3-4? No pressure. I mean, the quarterback could count to 15 Mississippis. I could play quarterback if I had that much time.
And that's the big change, the difference I've noticed from the defense from last year. We sent the nickel on blitz packages frequently, and I hadn't seen much of that at all this season. So I'm hoping we stick with those blitz packages and let's be aggressive. Let's let the defense, let the dogs bark, let them loose.
Yeah, because once they start doing that, he stopped having all that time left in the pocket like he's been doing. That guy was ordering pizza.
Yeah. And then if you're in cover two, and somebody is in your area, in your vicinity, why are you standing 10 yards away from them?
Oh my goodness.
Bro, that's your guy. If he in your space, that's your guy.
Unless your plan is to right at me.
But these guys were catching it and then would run 5 yards before somebody touched them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's so the DB's about to catch hell come film study.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I would be curious. I mean, I'm just curious. How many times did Bethune punt?
Once.
See.
So how did they pull it off? That comeback. When is the last time we've seen a comeback like that?
I know. I'm telling you,
we had to get those defense. It was the turnovers. The fumble recovery and the interception is the only reason Bethune didn't score, basically, because before then, every time they got the ball, they scored. So when we took advantage of those turnovers, that flipped the game.
Yeah.
So what happened to Death Row defense? What's going on the last couple of weeks?
Man, somebody said switch.
The last 2 weeks, that defense has given up a lot of rushing yards, a ton. Something got to happen. Something got to change.
So what does this look like? I mean, listen, it was a dramatic course of events in that whole 4 quarters. You went from like they say, from what usually is from sugar to other stuff, but this time we went from crap to sugar. And so listen, great outcomes. I wish we could have taken a different route there, but I'm thankful for the outcome. But what does this look like for us now? Did this change our plan of action? I mean, our course to the championship game. I guess we say the course to Jackson.
So no, this puts us on course. If we win out our schedule, we're guaranteed to go to Jackson.
Well, okay. Now, what if we don't win out?
If we lose one game, I think we're still there because Southern lost another game, so they've got 2 losses, and then Alcorn lost another game, so they've got 3 conference losses.
Yep.
So it may come down possibly to a tiebreaker. Like if we lose another conference game, and Southern does not, then they would have the tiebreaker
because
But I just don't see Southern going into Jackson and FAMU and Grambling
and coming out victorious.
I just don't see it. So
we
control our destiny.
By Southern.
I was gonna say that, stranger things have happened, but again, we should definitely win out. According to what the paper looked like. What you say, the data points should say that we should go ahead and win this thing. It looks good on paper.
They look good on paper. So we should be in Jackson.
But watching the scores from yesterday, I'm telling you, any given Saturday is for real in the SWAC this year because you saw Alcorn lose.
Yep.
You saw Southern lose.
And you saw
Morgan State beat South Carolina State over in the MEAC side. Because everybody was last week was saying, "Oh, here comes South Carolina State again." Not so fast. Alabama State beat Alabama A&M at homecoming.
Hold on, whose homecoming was it?
Alabama
A&M's.
Oh, they lost for homecoming against their state rival.
Yeah.
Boy, that's terrible.
So
So
it's crazy out here, man.
The one I'm concerned about is Alcorn because they've given us a L the last couple of years, home and away. So I'm really concerned about them. They have not had a good season. So next Friday night,
we'll be there.
ESPN game. We got to show up. I know everybody tired. You just got to hydrate. Just hydrate starting today. Just show up on the yard Friday.
Use mind control. Tell your body it's all right.
we need those rowdy sections again Friday night.
Man, I'm gonna need y'all to put those little COVID placards up with my picture on them in the seat because
you ain't gonna be able to do it.
Nah, bro.
No.
Oh my goodness!
All right, I want to talk about this halftime show, so let's take a quick break and then come back and talk about band. All right, so when we talk about giving the people what they want, this was the best halftime show in memory for me.
Right. Yeah, I would say overall as a whole, I think under, let me be clear, under Dr. Zachary, this was definitely the best. I want to be clear. This was definitely his best. And so when we talk about the right formula, they found it. And I think that's what gets everyone so frustrated with this band is because we know you can do it.
Got a whole lot of teasing.
Yeah,
get out of my ear. Get out of my ear.
So it's you don't have to change it up all the time, right? You just don't have to come with those things that are just tradition. Like you said, give the people what they want. Hey, the Black Foxes, I'm not going to talk about the routine. I'm going to talk about the music. I appreciate you because you played Boogie Wonderland, which is what the Black Foxes performed to my crab year. You also played Proud Mary, what the Black Foxes performed to my sophomore year. So kudos. I loved it. When I heard them start with that slow part of Proud Mary, oh, okay, no, you're not, but okay, yes, you are. But no, it was good. They didn't do a drum major come out, but I didn't miss it because so much they just did a lot of good things. Ain't Nobody by Shaka Khan, you can't go wrong with that. I can critique.
That arrangement was fire.
Oh yeah, I can. It was good. I that's the kind of song, right? I think I told you a couple of weeks ago, I don't like happy songs. That song had the bass line, it had the runs to go. Again, I liked there was not much I didn't like. I liked the drum feature, bringing the box. Right.
I heard them say, I knew I heard them. I said, I think they're not supposed to say box anymore, do they? But I heard box. I said,
They brought people back to, hey, I'm not in MSD. I didn't want you. We weren't MSD when I was in band. That's what they're saying. But here's the thing, right? They gave the people what they want. Yeah, I know I assure you, it is hard when you're a musician to not want to be that all the time. But sometimes you just have to be entertaining. And so, they started out the rudiments again, your wrist control, all that, that's great. But the people want to be entertained. And when did we get into it? When they got a little loose, just a little, I was like, okay, right? And then after that, what did they do? They gave us an amazing ballad. I didn't think they could top last year with the Whispers, but they came out with some LTD.
Jeffrey.
Yeah, LTD.
Well, my whole section was singing.
I'm like, dude, this formula is not hard.
And it's proven.
It's working. Right. Yes. So then we come with our black boxes. I loved it. I loved it. Shout out to Cheryl Guthrie. She is a black fox from the 80s. That girl, you could put her on the field right now. I mean, she looks amazing. They also did the parade. I don't know if y'all got an opportunity to, it was early, but I was there. They performed during the parade. So again, looked really good. I can't say they did the kicks, they did the circle. That's what the people want to see. That's the tradition, right? So again, kudos to the Black Foxes. The dance routine, awesome job. You brought back some drum majors. You brought back a few former band members. Again, it was. Round of applause to them. The energy was there. But here's the thing too. Y'all gonna get so sick of me talking about tradition. Okay. You did my Eye of the Storm. I'm calling it mine. You did my Eye of the Storm. But what I liked about it, you did this slow walk into it.
That was fly.
I noticed that.
I like that.
I was wondering was that intentional.
Here's the
those
thing.
who knew what was coming.
You're walking to it. Yeah, those who know what's coming. But also, what if you did that every show? Because they were humming and singing, I Saw You Walking in the Rain. If your crowd starts, if you keep doing that, what if your crowd got into it and started singing that with you?
Yes.
Right? But, right? So, again, they did the Eye of the Storm. New tradition. The dance, and I love them coming off Swamp, right? So they come off the field, they jam in Swamp. But here's the thing, if you pay a close attention to not necessarily the box, but the drum majors, some of the woodwinds, they're doing these moves. What if the crowd did them with you, right? And so those are the things that when you get your crowd to participate in your show, then again, you're giving the people what they want. It ought to felt good. Like they should feel good after that performance. Like when you come off the field, people are giving you a standing ovation. That's what you should be hungry for every single game and not just homecoming. Halftime, that's for the fans. Do it for the fans. Zero quarter, fifth quarter, the skills. Dude, if you want to go and impress your other swag bands, show your musicianship, your instrumentation, sure, still keep it entertaining, right? But just make halftime about the fans. Also, I cannot not bring up the fact that they were more engaged in the game. They were playing more during the game. They are the largest student organization. If they start chanting something, we're going to hear it, right? Mm-hmm. So again, I hope they're starting to see how they can influence the game, right? At one point, they were doing a chant, the bass drums. I'm like, yes.
There you go.
Yes, that's it. This isn't hard here. The formula is not hard.
We got PV Funk in the third quarter. I about lost my voice. It was
Hey, Shaunetta, I got a question. So in that particular situation, I thought they they just didn't even worry about it. But I thought the band couldn't play if the opposing team had the ball because they was playing the whole time. So I get it doesn't matter if there's other teams' band is not there.
I'll take that penalty.
I know. I just
get a warning first.
First
you get a warning.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, because at one point the ref walked over. I'm like, band, right? No, not right now. Not be quiet.
Okay. I didn't see the ref over there, but I was like, hey, they're not supposed to be playing right now. But
the ref let him make it then. That's what I guess so. Like.
Look, he was probably being entertained himself.
Maybe. And I will say this, and this is not, can take this with a grain of salt, but me personally, I didn't mind having the mic to malfunction, right? Because I think you all know I don't like announcers taking over the band, right? We're here for the halftime show. You play a part in that, but you're not the show. So me personally, I didn't have, and I'm gonna leave it at that.
Well, on that note, I do have two critiques, and it's not a bad thing, right? Because again, I think it was a phenomenal show, but I'm tired of the malfunctions that happen on game day. When are we doing our pre-checks, right? The DJ, great. Why was his volume like muted? It's like he had like there was a button or something he did not press. We should not have that on game day. And the only thing about the band that I'm like, it just stood out with me is that, like you say, you're here to entertain. The drum majors, when they came off the field, they just started walking. And to me, the whole pageantry of being a drum major is kind of like you're on display the entire time.
All time.
So everything needs to be theatrical and because to me that was the whole mystique about the drum majors, right? They always was doing something. You always had to keep your eye on the band, one eye on the band, one eye on the drum major, because you're gonna miss. So they just kind of like just lackadaisically walk to their individual sections. That's the only thing I saw, but hey.
Yeah, like I said, there's some critiques. Now I'm not gonna lie and say that from a musician standpoint that everything was great. There was some things there, but from the entertainment value, I thought they did a good job.
No, kudos.
Actually,
all around great homecoming.
We definitely got to give some. We got to give some straight kudos to those Black Foxes from before we was damn near born out there. And first of all, in their outfits and looking tasty, looking good. First of all, they in their 50s and 60s. I mean, hey, give it to them. They put the work in.
He's not quite.
They put the work in, obviously, a few months ago to be prepared.
They were in the parade and they were in the walk up. I think they were with them the whole time.
Yeah, they got kudos from everybody.
We get it. I think we all you painted a vivid picture for us. Thank you.
All right.
What you say on that note?
On that note, let's take a quick break and come back to the We Ready shout outs.
Oh, yes.
All right, welcome back. We Ready shout outs. Roland, I'm going to go to you first.
Man, listen, of all the things that hit on all cylinders, I must have to give a special shout out to Miss Karis Mays, who has been doing a phenomenal job with all of the homecoming duties, taking care of the class of 50, in addition to being the ones that invited us up on the Alumni Fair stage to do the live taping there on Saturday morning. So for that, we say thank you for that opportunity and outstanding job with helping put together a very memorable homecoming for us to enjoy.
She was ready.
She was obviously ready in the absence of me. she had to step up, so she was ready.
And her birthday is November 8th, so heat up that girl's cash out.
Hit on a cash app.
Yeah, all right, Shaunetta, who you got?
Man, I have to give a shout out to those that sat around me. I do. I personally feel that it was us. They heard us. We were banging on the chairs, screaming to the team. So, of course, I'm shouting out myself. Mel. Mel, Slee, Victor, Rich, Israel. Man, we were ready.
My mother-in-law
somebody
was
had
in
to
that
step in
section
for
too.
us. For those of us. What was that?
I say my mother-in-law was in that section too.
She was. Oh, Roland, you came. I forgot you came down there too. Yeah, yes.
Yeah, I came
Mother-in-law,
down and hung out with you.
mother-in-law, Austin, and Roland. Yes, I forget you did. Oh, Eureka, my bad. Oh, I'm sorry. Enrica, yeah, the entire.
You better have said Eureka, man.
Rika and Vic were like Yale leaders. They went and took section and started like getting the crowd. I was like, what are y'all doing?
No.
But that was
I'm
great.
serious. I about lost my voice. So we were ready. That section, we were ready.
Section 107 was ready.
107.
So it sounds like y'all need to get some season tickets in 107. That's gonna be the hype section. All right. Well, let's see if we can get this right. I know we did good yesterday in person, but let's see if we can get this right here on StreamYard.
Man, it's gonna be tight. Ain't none of us hydrated. We halfway done lost our voice. Built-in excuse.
PV.
You know.
Yeah, see, we gotta be live. It just don't work unless it's live. All right, and with that, we out. All right.
Energy low.
Boy said the tasty fast.